Okay, let's just get right into it. There is a massive tectonic shift happening in the digital world right now, and it is changing absolutely everything we thought we knew about being found online. I mean, the SEO we've all been using for decades? Yeah, its very foundation is starting to crumble.
For something like 2 decades, everything, and I mean everything, revolved around the keyword. But that entire model, it's collapsing under its own weight. The game has just completely changed.
So you might be asking, what's taking its place? Well, we're moving from keyword SEO to something called answer engine optimization. And look, this isn't just a fancy new acronym. It's a totally different way of thinking about how information gets found online. At the very heart of this huge change is how search engines themselves have evolved. You know, they're not just quiet librarians anymore pointing you to the right aisle. Nope, they've become the publishers.
So what exactly is an answer engine? Just think about Google's Gemini or its search generative experience. These are AI systems that don't just match your words, they actually get what you mean. They understand your intent and the context to give you a direct answer right there on the results page.
And this has led us right here to what people are calling the zero-click future. The entire goal of a search engine has flipped on its head. It's not about sending you to the best website anymore. It's about answering your questions so well, you never even have to click a link.
To pull this off, the search engine has to wear 3 new hats. First, it's a reader, absorbing and understanding content from all over the web. Then, it's a synthesizer, mashing up information from tons of different sources. And finally, it becomes a publisher, creating a totally new piece of content, the answer right there on the spot.
Okay, so if users aren't clicking, how in the world do we measure success? This is huge. The new bottom line isn't about getting clicks anymore. It's about getting citations. That's the only metric that really matters now.
Let me just put this as plainly as I can. The old holy grail was click-through rate, right? Well, the new one is citation rate. Your goal isn't to get a person to visit your page anymore. It's to convince an AI that your page is a rock-solid, trustworthy source for its own answer.
Which, of course, leads us to the million-dollar question. If getting cited is the new name of the game, how do you actually get an AI to trust you and use your content?
Well, it really boils down to 3 principles that are totally non-negotiable. For an AI to even consider your content trustworthy, it has to be semantically clear, technically flawless, and structurally sound. There's just zero wiggle room on this.
You have to remember, these AI crawlers, they don't read the way we do, they process information. And that's why they need absolute perfection. Clear relationships between ideas, squeaky clean code with no ambiguity at all, and a logical header structure that's like a perfect outline. Anything less, and they just can't parse it. It's that simple.
Now, this is where most companies, big and small, run into a massive and often totally invisible problem. They're so focused on the words themselves, but they completely ignore the technical gunk that's lurking just under the surface in their CMS.
And believe it or not, this huge technical mess often starts with the most harmless, everyday action you can think of, a simple copy and paste.
Yeah, it's a problem called code bloat. And every single time someone on your team writes something in, say, Google Docs or Word and pastes it into your website, they are accidentally injecting a hidden mess of junk HTML. You can't see it, but to an AI, it's a disaster.
So while you're looking at a nice clean paragraph on your screen, the AI sees this. A tangled web of proprietary bloated code on the back end. It's basically gibberish, and it instantly destroys any trust that AI might have had in your content. It's a red flag that your site is unreliable and just not well maintained.
So, how do you possibly fix this across thousands of articles? You can't do it manually, that's for sure. The only real solution is to automate your content architecture. Think of it like the high-frequency trading of the content world. It needs machine speed and perfect precision.
Now let's be super clear about the kind of AI we're talking about here. This is not the generative AI that writes blog posts for you. This is infrastructure AI. Its job isn't to create something new, its job is to clean what you already have. It's basically an automated quality control system, making sure every single piece of content is perfectly structured before it even sees the light of day.
And when you put this kind of AI-first workflow in place, it's honestly transformative. You can suddenly manage hundreds of sites, automatically clean up all that nasty code, and optimize your entire content library at a scale that's just impossible for a human team.
And the best part? It frees up your brilliant creative people to focus on what they're actually good at, strategy and telling great stories.
Look, we're not just talking about another trend. We are smack in the middle of an industrial revolution for digital publishing. The way content is made, structured, and even valued is being completely rewritten as we speak.
So, if you're going to take anything away from this, let it be these three things. 1. Keywords are dead. Intent and context are king now. 2. That clean, technical structure, that's the new currency of trust for an AI. And 3. The only way you're going to win this new game at scale is with automation.
Which really just leaves us with one last critical question. You need to take a really hard look at your content and your process. Are you building for yesterday's search engine, or are you ready for tomorrow's?